Hello. Hi guys, can you hear me? If you can't hear me, just type 1 in the live chat box. We are waiting for another 5 minutes. Okay, let's start. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I hope you guys are doing well this day. And I'm Brookie, and I'm today's presenter for the DeFi NEB. And hope you guys can enjoy today's live with me. And before going to our today's main content, I have to remind for you guys, and if you take part in today's live, and you will have a chance to get the 20 dodges, and just go to the DeFi NEB Telegram community and contact our assistants. They will randomly select some people to get the 20 dodges. Okay, this is a very important part for you guys know this information. Okay, let's go to our today's content. And before we go to our today's content, I think you guys already see this day's market, and it has a slightly increase, and the Bitcoin has crossed over 20,000, and also for Ethereum, we can say the price of the Ethereum has reached to over over 1.5 thousand. So the whole market has a slightly increase for these days, and I hope you guys made some profit for these days little bull market. And for today's content, I will separate for the 4 parts for today's content. And first of all, I will introduce the history of the blockchain, and also introduce the concept of the Web3 for you guys. And for the second part, I will introduce the DeFi for you guys, and it is very important for us to know the concept of the DeFi, and how the DeFi is important for the whole crypto market. And also I will go through the whole project of the DeFi NEB for you guys. And lastly, I will roll up for today's content for you guys, and I hope you guys can enjoy today's presentation. And first of all, I will introduce the history of the blockchain for you guys. Yeah, some of you guys maybe already know the Bitcoins. So when did the Bitcoins emerge for the financial market? And actually, in the year of the 2008, and after the financial crisis of the financial market, and the Satoshi Nakamoto launched the white paper of the Bitcoins. And after the year, at the 3rd January of the 2009, and the Satoshi Nakamoto launched the Bitcoin's payment system for the financial market. And because the traditional financial market has some problems, so that's why the Satoshi Nakamoto think that the Bitcoins can change the whole financial market. And also we say that the Bitcoins has profound meanings for the financial market. And the Bitcoins is not just the cryptocurrency, but also it is a payment system. It is a peer-to-peer payment system. So that's why this is a very important concept for us to know the peer-to-peer payment system during the cryptocurrency market. And after a few years later, the guys who called the guys who was called is called Vitalik launched the Ethereum for us, and this is a public blockchain. And after the Ethereum launched, the has been launched, some of the developers can build the smart contract on the Ethereum, and some of the smart contract has changed this world a lot. And also at the same year, the co-founder of the Ethereum, who is called Wood, also launched the concept of the Web3 for our individuals, and the concept of the Web3 has a huge influence for the future. So that's why the Web3 is important for the world. And after the Ethereum has been launched, and there are many public blockchain has been launched during this year, like the Solana and also Avalanche. And for the next year, the new public chain has been launched, which is called Aptos. And I think some people for the next year, if you invest some money in the Aptos, the token is APT, and I think you guys already made some money from that payroll. So the public blockchains are very important for building the Web3. So because the Web3 is built up on the blockchain, and also after a few years later, like the 2020, because people think about the utilization of the blockchain, so the DeFi summer comes. This is another milestone in the Web3 ecosystem, because the concept of the DeFi or the protocols of the DeFi influence the later utilization of the whole ecosystem, like the GameFi and the AMT. They used the concept of the DeFi and combine another, like the game and also tokens with the DeFi to build the Web3 and extend the whole ecosystem of the Web3. So that's why the utilization of the DeFi is important for the whole Web3 ecosystem. But for today, and we already know there are cycles for the crypto market, and today we are in the bear market, and some of people may already withdraw their cryptocurrency from the whole market, and because there are no arbitrage, some arbitrage if you don't believe in the future, they will have some huge increase. But I believe in the future we will see the bull market coming, and also I think that for this year or next year, the whole market will become very prosperity, and also some of people would make some profit in the crypto market. So you guys already know the history of blockchain and know some milestones of the blockchain. And I already mentioned the Ganwood provide the concept of the Web3 for the whole crypto market. And so what is Web3, and how the Web3 is important for the market? So let's go to the next part to say what is Web3. And before we know the concept of the Web3, we should know what is Web1 and Web2, and compare the concept among the Web1, Web2, and Web3. So you guys know the internet, and actually in the Web1, it is the early stage of the internet, and we can just get the information from the web, and we can do any other interaction with the web or the people from the other side of the web. The web just feed this information for our users, and we can't create content, and we can't make the profit from the web. So that's why in the Web 1 we can read the content from the web, and also scan the information from the web, scan the information from the web, and just like the early stage of the Yahoo. So actually for the individual users, there were some limitations for us to do some actions on the web 1. But with the development of the internet and also the web, and we can make the interaction with the web, and also some people from the other side of the web. Just like we can communicate with some people on the web also by the phone, and also we can do the shopping on some platforms, and also we can create content to make the profit. And but because we can do some actions on the web 2, but there are also some problems that happened in the web 2, like if we create the content on some platforms like the YouTube, we should share our profit with platforms. And also when we do the registration and these platforms, and we have to provide our individual information and also our privacy for these platforms, because they need our data, and they collect our data to do some other actions, like they would according to our actions to provide some advertisement for us, and so they can make the profit from the advertisement. And also some of data maybe be sold for these platforms. So that's why our data and the privacy are not safe in these platforms. So that's why some people think about the Web3 is important for us, and they provide the concept of the Web3 for us, because in the stage of the Web3, and everyone can own the web, and if we create some content on the Web3, you can make the profit directly with no sharing with of these platforms, because the Web3 is built up on the blockchain, and we can make the profit directly, and we can own the whole web which means we own our data, and we can use this data to make the profit directly, and also our data and privacy are very safe in the Web3. So in the future, also at this time, the concept of the Web3 is very important for our individuals. And also the Web3 is the base for build the metaverse in the future. So if you guys want to see the metaverse to happen in this world, and also you guys should understand how the Web3 is important for our individuals. So compare the concept of the Web 1, Web 2, and Web 3, and there are huge development from the Web 1 to Web 3. And actually, with the development of the web and also the internet, and we can share the whole web with others, and we can own the whole web by our individuals. So we already know the concept of the Web3 and compared the differences among Web 1, Web 2, and Web 3. And let's say the next milestone of the Web 3 system. This is DeFi. And before we know the DeFi, just a reminder for you guys. And go to the DeFi NEB Telegram community, and you guys will have a chance to get the 20 dodges randomly, and because the community assistants will randomly select some people to get the 20 dodges. And before we know the DeFi, I mean the decentralized finance, we should know the traditional finance and how the different with the DeFi. And first of all, just for instance, when we go to the bank or other financial institutions, we should provide our personal information to open our account, and which means we have to provide our ID or the other informations and open an account. And so that's why in this process, we need the bank and also other financial institutions, because these third parties will collect our personal information to open an account for us. And when we do the action like the deposit and also do the investment, and we should go to these financial institutions and to go to do this process. And these third parties who custody our assets. And so that's why during this process, actually our personal data is not very safe, and some of the third parties maybe use our personal data and our privacy to do other things. And also when we do the transactions, actually for instance like the deposits, we deposit our assets into the bank, but for the other side we don't know who lend this amount of the money. So that's why it's not very transparency for our individual. So that's why for the DeFi concept, it is important for us to know this the DeFi. And actually compare the traditional finance. For the DeFi, there are no third parties who can participate in the transactions, and which means, during this whole process, there is no other banks or other financial institutions who participate in the whole process. The smart contract can instead the third parties to execute the whole process. I mean, the code can automatically to make the market, and just the both sides of the transactions into the whole process. So no third parties to participate in the whole process. So this is very transparency and very safe. We don't worry about our data to utilized by the third parties to make another actions. So that's why in the DeFi process, the smart contract can make the market and also save our data, because this process executed on the blockchain. So that's why it's important for our individuals to know how the DeFi is important in the financial market. So compare the differences between the traditional finance and also the DeFi, and how the DeFi works. There are three components are very important for us to know how the DeFi works. First of all, I already mentioned, the DeFi is working on the blockchain, and so our data are saved on the blockchain, and also all transactions can be checked on the blockchain. So it's very safe and also very transparency. And just get the address, and you can check the transactions for this address. And also there is no one can use our data, just ourselves who can use the data. And another important component is the liquidity providing. And actually in the financial market, also the Web3 ecosystem, the liquidity providing is important. But in the DeFi part, it's extremely important for the liquidity providing. And just for example, if the A borrower provides the liquidity X crypto assets into the staking pool, and for the other side of the lender, and who can lend the Y crypto assets from the staking pool, and both of the crypto assets equal an instant, and so that's why it can keep an instant, and so that's why the liquidity providing can work for long run. And another very important component is AMM, which is automatically make market, and it works by the smart contract, and instead the third party like the person, and because the bank in the traditional market play an important role, but in the DeFi market, the code play an important role. And so that's why the smart contract can make the market. This is an important part in the DeFi market. So for the whole process, the three components are very important in the DeFi working, and they drives the DeFi go to the long run. Actually, for today's whole DeFi market, the TVL and around the 40 billions. Actually, these days, ZT has increased a lot. I saw this data and it crossed the 40 billions because we say the market has increased a little bit. And you guys can check this data from the DeFi Llama, and the DeFi Llama provide the whole market of the DeFi for our investors. And you guys already know the concept of the DeFi, and also already know the differences about the traditional finance and the DeFi, and already know the three important components in the DeFi process. So we can see the advantages and also the disadvantages of the DeFi. First of all, because there is no person who participates in the whole process, the code can drive the whole process. So that's why the whole process can execute anytime and anywhere. And so that's why the DeFi is no location limitation, and there is no time limitation, and you guys can execute the investment anytime and anywhere. This is the first pros for the investors. And for the second one, and investors can, according to their abilities, to generate income. And not only for the giant amount crypto assets, but also for the tiny amount of the crypto assets. You guys can invest in the DeFi protocols, and it can generate the income according to your investment. And also it has high level of security, and because there is no third parties who participate in the whole process and just the code. So that's why the code is very safe for our investors, except if the code has some loophole. And because if this protocol has some loopholes, some hackers maybe utilize these loopholes to hack the crypto assets of the investors. So actually, before we invest some DeFi protocols, we should check if the protocols has already passed the audit. And for the DeFi NEB, it has already passed the audit by the CertiK and also Coin Consult. And you guys can check this security assessment for the protocols, and you guys can say how safe about these protocols. And but there are also some cons for the DeFi. And first of all, some of the DeFi projects are very complex because the DeFi is in the early stage, and I think there is a long road for the DeFi to going further. So that's why we are in the early stage, And some of people who are not who doesn't have some like the finance or the technical backgrounds, they may not easily understand this whole logic of the DeFi protocols. So that's why some of the protocols are not easy to understand. Like the curve, maybe for some people who are not understand this project. And I already mentioned the third one. If there is some loopholes, some people may be scammed by some hackers for their crypto assets. And also, it has features of the DeFi. It has a high volatility because in the crypto market, it has a high volatility feature. So that's why in the DeFi, it is also have the high volatility. So when you guys invest in the DeFi market, you guys should scale how much risk you can take and how much money you want to make. So just consider these two components, and you should consider how much money you want invest in the DeFi market. So this is important, and we already know the advantages and disadvantages of the DeFi. And so for this part, we will go through the whole project of the DeFi NEB, and hope you guys can know more about the DeFi NEB for the next part. So before we go to the next part, I have to remind you guys can go to the Telegram community to get the 20 Doges randomly, and so because the community assistants will choose some people to get the 20 Doges. Just provide your address and they can airdrop for your address. So let's go to the next part of the DeFi NEB. And some of you guys might already invested some crypto assets into the DeFi NEB, and you guys may already make the yield from the DeFi NEB, and you guys can say it provides a high yield for your guys, and because the DeFi NEB is driven with AI, and it is an aggregator. So that's why it can provide the high yield for the investors. And you just provide the liquidity in a staking pool. It can make the high yield for your guys. And first of all, we can say what is a project. So what is a DeFi NEB? A DeFi NEB is a fully intelligent one-stop service platform, and the investors can do a series of the DeFi behaviors in the DeFi NEB, such as intelligent deposits and loans, leveraged mining, cross-chain mining, grumbling head miles, and also the automatic compound interest. And first of all, you just provide the liquidity in the staking pool, and the DeFi NEB will automatically provide the yield for your guys. If you guys could not withdraw your principal or your yields, and it can automatically to generate the further compound interest for your guys. So this is an important part for the investors to understand the DeFi NEB. And also the DeFi NEB has a strict risk control mechanism. This ensures that this DeFi NEB can generate the high yields for the investors. And also because it drives with code and the smart contract can execute the whole process. So it's very safe for the investors. And also for the DeFi NEB, it has 4 advantages when you have some strategy on the DeFi NEB website. And first of all, it is intelligent. And as I mentioned, because it drives with AI, so that's why it's very intelligent. And also it's built on the blockchain, and so that's why it's very transparency for the crypto assets. And for the second one is simple. And when you go to the website, you can just collect the staking pool and provide the liquidity in these pools. And so it can generate the yield for the investors, just one click. And it is efficient because the DeFi NEB is driven with AI, and as long as you provide the liquidity in the staking pool, it can generate the profit immediately. So it's very efficient, and also it's very specialization. And compare for the other DeFi protocols, and there is no other protocols like the DeFi NEB. So because it is easy and simple and also intelligent, so it's very specialization. And also I should mention, the DeFi NEB is not focused on the short-term mission. Instead, it focuses on the long-term mission, because this project has been prepared for 3 years before it has been launched. So we can say that this project wants to build a win-win strategy for the whole ecosystem, and also for the investor. So that's why this project is focused on the long-term mission and provide the profound meanings for the investors. And for the next part, we can say the business logic of the DeFi NEB. As I mentioned, because the DeFi NEB is focused on the long-term mission, they will build the DeFi NEB ecosystem of this project. So it is a value-added logic for the whole project. The important part of the DeFi NEB, it wants to generate the high crypto return for the investors. And also there are 5 business infographic for you guys to understand this DeFi NEB product. The first of it is automatically continuous reinvestment. As I mentioned before, you guys, as long as you guys provide the liquidity in the staking pool, and it can generate the yield immediately. And also, if you are not withdrawing your principal and the yields, it can generate. It can invest in the further investment. so it can automatically generate the compound interest. And also the next one is a low transaction phase. When you execute the whole process of the transaction, and it can just spend a little bit gas phase for one transactions, so it has a no transaction phase. And for the third one is a one-click deposit, and just go to the website and just one click, and you can provide the liquidity in the staking pool and generate the yield. And for the next one is a quickly switch strategy. And if you guys can say the website of the liquidity staking pool, and you guys can say there are many strategies, and you guys can choose which crypto assets you want invest into the staking pool. And if you guys want change your mind, and you can switch it quickly, and also it provides the swap for you guys, and you can change your crypto assets for another crypto assets. And because it drives with AI, and some of the strategy has been coded by the in a smart contract, and so it also aims for the high yield for the top miles, and because the top miles can generate the high income. And the next part, we will introduce the DeFi project profit logic for you guys. And first of the DeFi yield opportunities, because it works on the Binance Smart Chain, and so it can invest in the Binance Smart Chain, and these protocols which are working on the Binance Smart Chain, like the Compound and also DYDX, and the aggregator can go to this DEX to generate the high income. And for the second one is monitoring and optimize allocations. And according to the investment, and the DeFi NEB will allocate these crypto assets into different DDEX or the miles, and it can generate the high income according to the investment. And also the next one is match the strategy. And the DeFi NEB enables users to intelligently match strategy that best suit their capital size. Not only for the giant amount of crypto assets, but also for the tiny crypto assets, you can provide the liquidity in the staking pool. It can generate the high yields for the crypto assets according to the amount size for the investment. And for the fourth one, it is the very easily trace the revenue, because the DeFi NEB is working on the blockchain, and also if you guys want to check the transactions, you can just get the address, and you guys can trace these transactions according to what you want to know. And for the bonus system, and first of for the investors, you can get the 75% of the yields directly, and this yield can go to your wallet directly. And but for the left part of the 25%, it will go to the platform and also the market. And the 7% will go to the platform because there are some engineers will work in the DeFi NEB to generate some code, and also the left part of the 18% will allocated to the market. For instance, if you guys invite your colleagues or your friends to invest into the DeFi NEB, they just need the 3 subclasses, and the every subclasses of like the 6% will go to your account. So that's why the 80% will go to the market. And for the whole project, there are some advantages, like the security advantage, because I already mentioned the DeFi NEB has already passed the security check, and so it's very safe and also very transparency. And you guys can check the security assessment. And also it's a high yield, and for the daily yield, it is 0.51%, and for the monthly yield is around 80%, and also for the yearly yield it's around 300%. And also for the whole project, it driven by the DAO, and for the governance, for the later governance, the DAO will govern the whole project, and there is no project parties who can control this whole project. For next part, we will say the ecological application. And as I already mentioned, the DeFi NEB is an aggregator, and it drives with AI. And also this data like the transactions will provide to the AI to generate the high income. So it is very important for us to know how the AI works in the whole process. And for this part, I already mentioned in the DeFi part. So if you provide the liquidity in the capital pool, and for the other side, the lender can lend the money from the capital pool, and for the liquidity provider, it can make the transaction phase from this whole process. So when we say because the DeFi NEB is going to the head miles, so what is the advantage of the leading miles? First of all, it has a low price, and because some of the leading miles have the for its price is lower than the market price, so there's some arbitrage can make the profit, and also it is a faster payback, and because the payback period of the top miles is particularly short, so that's why for our investment we can make the high yield in the shorter, and also it has a large profit, and because the DeFi NEB is an aggregator, it can go to these leading miles to generate the large profit, because there are not some people who know the leading miles, so that's why we can make some profit from the leading miles, and also it has low risk, because some of the leading miles are in the early stage. So that's why it has no risk, and we can make the high yield for investors. And there are three revenue models for the DeFi NEB. First of all, it is the collective trading, because it is an aggregator. So it can collect all of the crypto assets to invest in some leading miles or the DDEX, and they can generate the high yield. And it is on risk control, because it's driven by the AI, and so the AI can control the risk for the investors, and also it can automatically generate the compound interest for the investors. So that's why these three components are very important for the future of the DeFi NEB. So we already say some details about the DeFi NEB. So what is the future about for the DeFi NEB project? And because I already mentioned, the DeFi NEB will governed by the DAO, and if you guys can hold the token or the NFT for the DeFi NEB, and you guys have the authority to organize the whole project. And also in the future, the DeFi NEB will launch the metaverse, and because the metaverse can connect the reality and also the virtual world, so it is a very useful platform for our investors, and also we can say they have a beautiful future for the DeFi NEB. They are not just focused on the short term, instead they focus on the long term, and we will see the metaverse for the whole DeFi NEB protocol. And also the DeFi NEB will build the infrastructures for the ecosystem, and it will build a one-stop financial platforms for the whole ecosystem, and launch several of the blockchain infrastructure, like the NEB wallet, and also the swap, and also the marketplace, and maybe also a DDEX. So that's why the DeFi NEB will build a long run for the investors. So this information for our investors to know are very important, uh, because this project is focused on long-term mission, and they want provide the win-win strategy for the investors. So we already go through the whole project of the DeFi NEB, and I hope you guys already know some details about the DeFi NEB. And let me do a roll up for today's presentation. First of all, I introduce the history of the blockchain for you guys, and also I provide the concept of the Web3 for you guys, and compare the differences among Web 1, Web 2, and Web 3 for you guys. And for the next part, I introduce DeFi for you guys, and so compare the differences between the traditional finance and also the DeFi, and how DeFi works, and how DeFi is important for the whole Web3 ecosystem. And also I provide the advantage and also the disadvantage of the DeFi for you guys. And for the next part, I go through the whole project of the DeFi NEB for you guys. And I hope you guys can enjoy today's presentation, and also I will remind for you guys, go to the Telegram community, and get the 20 dodges randomly, the community assistants will select some people to get the 20 dodges. Just provide your address and they will airdrop these 20 dodges to your address. So hope you guys can have a good day and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. See you guys next time.